You're now watching a clip from the Inspired by show. You can watch the full episode on our YouTube channel or listen on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. So make sure to head over there, leave us a 5-star rating if you enjoyed it, and follow the show. Sabotaging health side. What experience have you had for any of our listeners or viewers when it comes to sabotaging, say, business? Because I see that so much with my clients.
Yes.
You know, they do really well. I personally experienced this. I did really, really well when I remember being stuck on like 45K a year when I first started my business, and it was around the same amount of money as my old salary. Shock horror. Hit the ceiling I was comfortable with. And I remember the first time I ever, 12 months later, made 250K. And I remember sabotaging that so much because I just didn't know how to receive.
Yeah.
I've gone through a lot of therapy through that process now. What have you experienced, that either yourself or with your clients, getting stuck with sabotaging their business and their money?
Yeah, absolutely. Main thing is kind of not showing up and kind of not being lighthearted and playful with the very thing that they had an idea or they've got a passion about in the first place. So, you know, even if I look back to my past, you know, I was sabotaging my relationship. I was flaky in my relationship. The person that I attracted in my relationship was also flaky in my experience. And then I was bringing that energy into my business and being a little bit flaky in business. So again, once I recognized that, I went, no, hold on. I'm okay with sabotaging myself, but what if I can help other people not sabotage themselves? And that's when we have to kind of make agreements with ourselves. But the challenge is the saboteur can be dominant, can be strong. People sabotage then not doing videos, not doing posts, not going to meetings, not getting on a phone call, talking to a client, not trying something new, not investing in themselves. I mean, the list could go on and on and on.
I find that really interesting though, Eileen. You mentioned there in your personal experience, in your words, were flaky in your relationship, flaky in your business. Do our saboteurs always show up in the same way across our life, or do we sabotage in different ways?
Yeah, great question. I think for some people, it can be a very similar pattern. And for some people, it can show up in different ways. Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. And you mentioned flakiness there. For me, I think I can really relate to the flaky feeling. One thing I noticed in my sabotaging history was around sales.
Yes.
You know, I would make a sale and then the person hadn't paid and I wouldn't want to follow up.
Yes.
Because I didn't want to come across as desperate or
Yes.
salesy. And I still remember the voice in my head saying to me, oh, you can't ask for that. It'll make you look desperate. And all of these things. And I then learned that that was my way of sabotaging.
Yes.
So what do you think we can do when it comes to our business so that because this is a lot of these are costly mistakes that we can't really afford to make?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the main thing is to, one, you know, for me, inner work is essential, especially if your saboteur is stopping you from doing the next thing. Then inner work is the thing. The challenge is people are looking to, if I do a podcast, that'll be the thing. If I do a newsletter, that'll be the thing. If I do an event, a workshop, that'll be the thing. So I think for me, the inner work is essential. And then after that, then is to work with the saboteur, because the saboteur then will help you as well. And then just meet you where you are, one step at a time, one day at a time, and then work on those past loyal voices. Because a lot of these loyal voices go back to our family and our upbringing, like, who do you think you are? Don't be too big for your boots. What will people think of you? You're not meant to have money. It can go back to that sense of belonging, if that makes sense, and how we fit in.
Yeah.
But again, that's unteachable, and we can teach, you know, the good thing about our brain, my point of view, is you can wake up new parts, and it's like a muscle in the body. You know, if you work a bicep curl, you know, do bicep curls, your bicep gets strong. The muscle that was missing in my brain was my own self-approval. So once I worked on that muscle in my brain, it's strong, it's dominant. And that's what's helped me.
Wow. How did you work on that muscle in your brain around self-approval?
I started first really simply. I remember this coach about 15 years ago saying to me, well, you know, Eileen, how do you praise yourself? And I was like, what the hell is that? Like, you weirdo. I was like, you weirdo. And he was like, well, when do you know, look at what you've done? And I was like, what? And he went, wow, you're a single parent. You've brought up your daughter. You've got 2 businesses. How do you do that? And I just went, that's what you do. And he went, no, that isn't what people do. So I just totally dismissed my own energy, my own effort, my own tenacity. So I started with a praise journal, and I called it myself P&P, which is pillow and praise. So I just started every night when I went to bed, when I'm going to praise myself for one thing. And it'd be any one. And it might be, do you know what? I made a meeting today. I spoke to a new client today. I went for a walk today. Whatever it could be. And I just started with that. And that muscle in my brain started to grow. And then I started to work on that affirming part of my brain. Because normally that affirming part of our brain we get from masculine energy, which we normally get from our dad or father figures. And many people haven't had that. And that doesn't mean your dad was bad or didn't do it right or did it wrong, because he possibly didn't have it either too, if that makes sense. So for me, that was missing in me, because the Irish way was, my dad was, it's my way or the highway type thing. So I just started to just praise myself. And when you praise yourself, you don't turn around and go, wow, I'm the best thing. Because to me, that's arrogance. That's not humbleness. It's, do you know what? I think I did a good job there for me. I'm pleased with myself. It's an internal praise, if that makes sense.